Hi, I'm Vandana Mahajan, founder and director of Futures Abroad, a leading consulting firm guiding students for university studies and higher education. Today I'm talking about how can you prepare a successful Canada study visa file. You must be wondering, why am I the authority to talk about this? So just to give you a little bit of a background, I am a Canadian. I worked in Canada for 13 years. And I have been counseling students and helping them apply for Canadian study visa applications for over 20 years with 99% success ratio. A few factors which Canadian visa officers are looking for in a visa file. Firstly, who is your sponsor and whether your sponsor has the ability to take care of your tuition and living expenses. A good way to calculate what is that amount which the visa officer would like to see is if you're going for a 4-year degree program, they would like to see liquid funds available with your sponsor for at least 2 years out of the 4. These funds should be in the sponsor's bank account for at least 4 to 6 months before you apply for your visa. Who should be your sponsor is another major issue. Your sponsor should be either yourself if you're applying for a master's or a postgraduate program, or if you're applying for a bachelor's degree program, the best sponsor is your parents or your close relatives like your grandparents or your uncle and aunt. Don't take your friends or parents' friends as your sponsors. The sponsor's financial history, proof of income, source of income, and assets have to be clearly displayed in the visa application. The second most important aspect in a study permit application for Canada is your study plan. Study plan is a way for the visa officer to know you personally and understand your main objective of going to Canada to pursue higher education. So please clearly write your study plan. It should be at least one A4 size page long, highlighting clearly why you chose Canada as your study destination, why do you want to pursue a particular program to study, and what are you going to do after you complete your education in Canada. They want to know that you are not planning to settle down in Canada, so please make sure your study plan is drafted accordingly. Highlight reasons why you will come back to your home country to make a career out of the qualification you have gained in Canada. Now, there are two kinds of schemes you can apply for Canada study visa. One is a STS scheme, which is applicable for students who are in countries like India or Pakistan. STS scheme is for you if you're residing and living in these countries. If you're living in any other country outside of these countries, for example in UAE or GCC, you don't need to apply under the STS scheme. In fact, you cannot apply under the STS scheme. In the STS scheme, you have to pay the full year tuition fee to the institution you're targeting. Please be sure before you apply for visa that the institution you have taken admission in is a designated learning institution in Canada, because these institutions are approved and authorized by the Canadian government. And you have to open a GIC policy, which is an insurance and a surety to the Canadian government that you will pay a certain amount in the GIC policy, which will be locked with the Canadian government, and you will be given a fixed amount each month. If you are going in the non-STS scheme, you do not need to follow these two steps, but I strongly encourage you to pay your first year tuition fee to make sure that the visa officer is convinced that you are a serious student, you've paid your fee, your sponsor has enough funds, and you're going to study. And you are going to come back. Take your time, apply at least 3 to 4 months before the start date of your program to ensure success of your study visa application. If you have questions, please do write to me and it will be my pleasure to respond back. Thank you.